collecting the art pieces from one of our artists, Charles. They gonna love this. I'm Anthony Jackson Ducker, the person who's organizing this art show.
I'm Hassan, and think of me as behind the camera, even though I'm not there.
I was honestly thinking for some time about a way that I wanted to give back to the community and to show more. And I've been working over at CHAPS since, I want to say, freshman of my sophomore year. And within that time, I've done a lot as far as just working within the artistic field and within the mediums, trying to help out with the other group members there, which really motivated me to want to create an art show to celebrate the art, not just within the community, but with the Allegheny students as well, hopefully to bridge that gap between the disconnect.
We've been working at CHAPS. I've been there around the same time, a little bit less. So being there, we met a lot of people who have overcome real struggle. They've really been disenfranchised from society, and CHAPS has been often a place where they've come to be more productive, to get back into work. And art, even though it may not seem, is a central part of CHAPS life. We started coming up with these ideas. We want to have an art show like Doc talked about. The theme of the art show was the me in Meadville. So essentially, how do you make Meadville? Because Meadville is not just one person or one type of person. They look that way. It's everyone. This is a place, especially Allegheny, where a lot of people match, a lot of people mesh, a lot of things come together. So we came together and we were like, we both love art, we're both creative people, and we're also both from minority communities. So we wanted to give a platform to artists of color within this community. You know, Meadville and Allegheny may seem like a homogenous community, but it's not. There's a lot of different people here. Our focus is on art and how art is a form of representation. It's a form of taking ownership, having your own voice.
In all honesty, for us to secure an event where we were able to host just the community and students alike, we did need to facilitate a good space. And we were able to acquire the venue over at Diamond Park with the help of Black Diamond assisting us. I could potentially fit about 2, maybe 3 art pieces for each table.
Mm-hmm. Hey, I'm Naya. I'm a junior.
And I'm Zoe. I'm also a junior.
And what is your guys' position in Black Diamond?
I do more of the community outreach.
And I do the activities and volunteer forms and stuff.
Black Diamond is an annual event that just celebrates the Black people of Meadville. I feel like there's a greater population than people realize, so we have people from the community come out. They have the opportunity to table for their business, or if they want to show some artwork or perform whatever they've been working on.
This is the 4th annual event. It was started as a couple Bonner's capstones.
So the theme that we have for the art show, the Me in Meadville, how do you think that resonates with your organization's own motto?
I feel like it perfectly connects, just because we essentially push people in Meadville, their businesses, what they're doing, especially. I feel like people at this school don't really take the time to always go into the community, so I feel like it's a really good time to see all these beautiful things that people are doing.
Yeah, I agree. I think also it goes along with our own theme this year, which is education, and providing like different educational resources for those who might think that like college is the only option. I think that like Me in Meadville also pushes the same of like you can do what you want, you can be who you want to be, and you have resources from the place that you are in that will help support you to get where you want to go.
I feel like as a ASI major myself that people don't value art nowadays because they don't see what it provides, but it's really a whole different lane. I feel like it's just literally a different way of communicating. I feel like sometimes not everything can be necessarily vocal.
Being able to showcase different art and like show people that art is an option for like a career path, and just show that like it's okay to do art because everyone in some way or fashion makes art, and that it's not just something that like, oh, that's cool that you can draw, but it's also like, oh, like this is something that you spent the time to do, and it's something that you deserve praise for, and it's not something that should be put lower than other subjects.
Showings you would want.
Potentially, yes.
Art is looked at as like the broke man's game, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to change that.
I'm Charles Tate, and I'm from Meadville, Pennsylvania.
And you grew up in Meadville?
I did, actually. I moved here when I was 11 from Cleveland. My expertise is all over the place. It's mixed media, commercial arts.
And what is your connection with Hatch Hollow?
I work here. I'm the steward, man. Like, I put up everything on these walls. I help the owner with everything that she needs, and I help the other members with everything that they need day to day. This has been, a little sanctuary for me. I'm very lucky to have found this place.
And why do you think the arts are important?
I think it's extremely important because it's becoming this thing that's an outsider-insider thing. As if you don't go to an art school, or if you're not centered around art people, that it's becoming that the artist in everyone is kind of getting smashed out of people. And so the point of art today should be to bring out the artist in everyone. The job today of artists should be to break that mold. Art is something that everyone can enjoy. We're muted as people often, whether it be because of your age, whether it be because of your race, whether it be because of your sex. And art is another avenue to like transpire that energy into something that's probably more understandable than what you could say verbally at times. They say that the pen is mightier than the sword, and in so many different ways that is true, whether it's poetry or whether it's a beautiful drawing. There's a lot you can actually say without using any words.
Anyways.
My name is Javier Jones.
And can you please tell me your class year and your major?
I am a sophomore, and my major is biology. I feel like the whole point of art is to see different methods of creativity. I feel like bringing many different perspectives together is always like a wonderful thing to do, especially within art. It just like it shows a lot of diversity.
What is art for you?
I feel like it's just a way of expression. Things that you can't say through words, I feel like art kind of does that for you. So the piece here to my right, this was supposed to be a piece about like wealth, I guess, in a sense. This one's supposed to represent like a king in a sense, kind of like commanding over his people. The one to my left was more so that inner feeling of like rage or expression that you don't let others see, kind of like that contained like in a box kind of.
Would you agree there's a lack of diverse voices in many fields?
Yes, definitely. One of the biggest, I don't know, insecurities but worries about was for me being African American male in like science. It's not something I see too often. Maybe elsewhere it may be, but that is one big thing where it's just like, man, like, will I be treated the same? Of course. Am I even able to get those same opportunities, or the opportunities I'm even looking for? Would I reach it there? In terms of like art and representation of yourself, just truly do what you feel and try not to be too much like others.
You ready?
Hi, my name is Theon Lee.
Can you tell me your class year and major?
Yep, I am a psychology major, and I am in my last year, my senior year of undergrad. I mean, underrepresentation is a huge thing, not just in this country, but I feel like worldwide in some regards. It's definitely challenging for a lot of individuals that come from different cultural backgrounds to get their work out there. And so I think that these opportunities like Black Diamond and like you guys are doing with the art show allows people to show that even in uncomfortable settings. Art in a more visual sense, whether that be film, on canvas with paintings, sculptures, whatever you may think in that more visual setting, art has a way of expressing itself better than it does, and I feel like in any regard. I believe art is a surviving necessity. Some people communicate through art, and that's the only way they know how to communicate. So I feel like it's that necessary. My medium of art is definitely films and live entertainment. The film I submitted to you guys was called Mine Too, yeah. And so that was actually a sequel to a film that I had done prior in my academic years, where essentially the film talks about how individuals shouldn't just deal with what they're given. Like, they should have the ability to stand up, fight for what they believe in. And even if it, you run risk, you go against something that you've been familiar with, you should still take that risk. Like, I think people should always stand up for what they believe in, and that's what that film's about. At the end, there is a message of the iconic fist hold for the Black Lives Matter movement, and I had my actors do that at the end because it was to, of course, symbolize solidarity with him. But in that film particularly, he actually was only envisioning that because, unfortunately, in this world now, much of what we want to accomplish is still a process. So we have to envision it first before it to become reality.
Hi, my name is Wei Yan Chan. I'm an instructor of art, music, and sometimes theater. This event is kind of interesting because I just had a really good conversation with the mayor of the city, actually, who's at the table behind me, and to learn, especially as a first-year person living here, about all the new initiatives the city is having, and also to learn all that within the context of an event like this is kind of fun. So our art forms are usually the strongest forms of self-expression. And so, in any community space, no matter how large or small, like even here in Meadville, that you need people who have such a clear vision of what they want to say. We need to see a lot more our exhibitions because they do help us communicate ideas as a community. They do help to bring people and ideas together so that we all, start understanding what each other said and thinks. It's always helpful to have a centralizing event, that pulls all these ideas together.
My name is Jamie Kinder, and I'm the mayor here in Meadville, Pennsylvania. I have been supporting this event since it first started, before I was mayor. I think it's a beautiful thing to bring for the Allegheny students and the high school students, right, to get together and show diversity and ethnicity, right, and inclusion in the events that they bring here. It's a beautiful thing. We need to know where we come from. We need to know that there are people like us. We need representation, right, and we also need to be able to celebrate the wins that we do get. It is a beautiful thing to be a diverse town and a diverse community, and this is just one more event that shows that. Art is a form of revolution, right? It's a way that we can stop being controlled, right? It is a form of creativity. Through our roots, art has informed and moved us into action. And it's important for our kids to know that, right? Because we're taking that away in schools, and we're taking that away. We get to be whatever we want. And art has always showed us that. It's very important to keep that. I think that first we need to represent in a way that people can identify with us, right? And I hopefully am doing that. And then the other thing is my role as the mayor. I am in government, so I am supposed to make sure that people have the opportunity to find their joy, right? And that means they have the opportunity to make enough money to have safe housing, to have good education for their kids, right? And that gives them the time, and it affords them the ability to do art, to be a part of their community. If we don't do those things, then they can't find their joy, and all of their time is spent working. So Allegheny has an obligation to make sure that their student body is diverse, along with their faculty and staff, and that way they will enrich Meadville and open the minds of Meadville also.
Baby said? Yeah.
Yeah.